coming back with the next thing, welcome again to the next thrilling installment of the chapter. I hate that this does this. Okay, but last time, when I left off, I wanted to stop on Brit. The first thing is like, yeah, I know there as a man, when that word comes up, I have mixed feelings. Right? It's like it triggers me, right? Brett, and but there's Brett. Yeah, what is that? I don't know. What is that? Well, I had it, and some people haven't. And it's called, and some people have had it when they were adults. Oh my God! Ah! But yeah, it's circumcision, right? And this is the text, right? Is tying it very strongly to that word. But as you begin your journey and you follow these connections, essentially it's a way to place coordinates on an infinite space, and it expands, right? And for me, I had to stop. Really, I had to stop the class because I was like, I had that, it triggered me, or it was activated in me. And why? Well, circumcision, if you're a man, that can be, yeah, female, that's horrible. Yeah. And it's sort of like, to be merciful as a communities that have it, they don't do it to women. It's not supposed to happen to women, and they do it when the baby is just a few days old, right? And it makes it easier, but it's a permanent sign of a commitment to something, right? And it was. How can I put it simply for the novice? The Bible, and this is a mistake I had. I didn't know anybody wasn't Jewish when my mom read the Bible to me, right? Because it's like Adam and Eve goes straight down all the line. Everything came from Adam and Eve, and Cain and Abel. And I didn't get the concept of Abraham, out of all the people, is the one that stood up and said, all these other gods are false gods, and I want the true God. And then he had some kind of experience that's recorded in history of God. Maimonidean analysis of the characteristics of the discourse on Abraham passed down to us is that it's anthropomorphic. And anthropomorphisms are all forms of idolatry. We shouldn't. So, but that's not the position of everybody. And that's what I've been taught in courses on Maimonides, was that he was doing that. He was going in the text where it said God stretched out his hand, right? If you in your mind are visualizing God having a hand, right, stretching out like that, you are making an idol. That's idolatry. All right, think about that for a minute, right? So the Maimonidean position is that God cannot be represented by those kind of anthropomorphisms. To do that is heretical, but not all Jews believe that. And certainly Christians don't. A lot of Christians think, yes, looks like a dude with a beard, or whatever. That simple. That's, in that sense, I would say, yeah, truthfully, you could argue that is idolatry, because you've formed an image of God and you worshipped it. And you're not supposed to do that. You can't make an image, even in your mind, right? You're not supposed to be doing that, right? If you do that, it's false. And it doesn't, if we go back to our Kabbalistic discussion, what it goes back to is it goes back to the fact that the divinity of something, material vessels can't withstand that, right? That we're, because of our limitations, right? So back to the Garden of Eden. They ate of the tree of knowledge, and oh, that was misery. Right? Okay, so they were all sad, and because they couldn't they couldn't be like gods because they were finite. So it was a bad idea, right, for them to do that. They sort of lost their bliss, and there's lots and lots of different interpretations of that. And unfortunately, some people here in the South that are fundamentalist Christians, they say, well, it's all because of women, and some Jews do this too. They go, yeah, that women ruined everything. It's all their fault. But that's a problem. That's not really what it's talking about. A lot of people would make the case. I don't think that's really what it's talking about. I think it was um, much deeper to that. You could talk about it for it to have been preserved like it has been. There's a lot of deeper philosophical things that are addressed in Adam and Eve getting out of the Garden of Eden. You could even say that they couldn't be there anymore. They could not because of the laws of God's universe. They had by getting or trying to get that God knowledge or whatever, they actually created a problem for themselves. And as William Burroughs, I said, language is a virus from outer space. It's going to destroy us, right? Think about that for a minute. That's kind of deep, right? But this all ends our discussion of this passage. From the first page here of the Zohar as it appears on Zohar.com. Yeah. And I don't think this is Pritzker. I think that's a more expensive edition. But you can get the Pritzker edition on where can you get it? Archive.org. And it's on that. So you create an ID on archive.org and you get the Pritzker Zohar, which is the best one. And you can check it out from archive encrypted for an hour and read it. And believe me, it takes, I cannot get done with the first volume. I think there's 27 volumes to it. And I try to just go through it like I do a computer manual. When I first get new software, I read the whole manual, even though I can't absorb it all. I read the whole manual, and then I come back to it, the software, and I'm working with it. And then, my memory of certain stuff will be triggered, and that will call me back to the manual. I'll be, oh, that's what it said. And that's a way to approach the Zohar. Okay, so this channel, folks, it's not 100% about mysticism. That's a big topic, and right now I got to get back onto the computer area of this. And what I want to do is take a look at this system and try to tweak the graphics on it. So I think it's Intel HD graphics 4000, and I've seen evidence. I've seen evidence that, oh man, this thing is so. What is this? It's an old Dell. Is that what it is? I think it is. Hold on a minute. Let me look at the back. No, it's an old HP. That is a big pain in the neck. Okay, so actually, yeah, this is the computer part of the show. So right here, I pull this computer out of the garbage can. I'm like, I can't stand to see. So it's an old computer, right? And so when you put Windows 10 on it, you do all the updates and everything like that, which I'm not sure they're entirely up to date. You got a problem out here in Device Manager. There's a bunch of stuff that doesn't have working drivers on it, and I don't know if it can even be fixed at this stage. But I'm gonna go here and go to Properties. And let's start bringing up these guys. Intel Going to copy this, and I hope you can still see it. I think you probably can. We're leaving behind the Zohar for the day. Paste and go. All right, so let's see what Intel has to say today about that. Essentials. Legacy Intel core processors. Products formerly Ivy Bridge. Vertical segment mobile. So it's a laptop. Processor number i7-3520M. Status discontinued. Right, okay. Launch date Q2 of 2012. So it's 10 years ago this was the processor. Lithography is 22 nanometers. I don't know what that is. All right, lithography refers to the semiconductor technology used to manufacture an integrated circuit, and it's reported in nanometers. That's indicative of the size of features built on the semiconductor. Indicative of the size of features built on the semiconductor. Okay. Total cores 2. Total threads 4. All right, so we can notice here, if we look for the CPU, where is the CPU? Processors, here they are. All right, yeah. So it goes, it shows as devices 4 processors, but it really only has 2 physical cores. All right. Embedded options available? No. Data sheet view now. Max memory size dependent on memory type. Now, in our context, I'm not sure what that means. There's memory type and there's memory type. Like there's a rows and there's a rows, right? It can mean a lot of different things. Max memory size refers to the maximum memory capacity supported by the processor. All right, so that means that this little bugger garbage can laptop, pull out of the garbage, theoretically can have 32 gigs of RAM on it. It's got 8 on it now. All right. DDR3, that's a whole can of worms. I forgot all that stuff about memory, but I'm going to have to review it. All right. So, and we'll do it here. You know, look, guys, sometimes you can work together better if you can go back to square one. If you buy into the thing of like, oh, well, people think of me as like a super expert. You know, I was a super expert on the DOS Bible. I was a super expert on the Windows 3.1 Bible and the Windows 95 Bible, the Windows NT Bible, the Windows NT 2000 Bible. Guys, there comes a point where you're like, I'm not going to read the Windows 10 Bible, you know. You could stop Windows 10 tomorrow and never, everything that I learned is just like, oh, we canceled all your entire brain because we own it. Right? Yeah, if you let them, it'll make you into a slave. So don't buy into that. I've got to be cool for people to think of me as a super expert, that I've got to know about all this stuff. No, you can forget stuff. Give yourself permission to be human. All right, so let's see. Support. Let's auto update our drivers. All right, so I'm hoping this is coming across. All right, so support, Intel support. All right, download now. We're going to intel.com, right? Because we got an Intel processor, and we're going to go download the, and this may not be the driver that HP wants us to be using. And they could be right. They might have better stuff. We don't know who does, actually, without further information. But I'm going to go ahead and install it and see if I can do more stuff with my computer that would not work until I did it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and update the Intel drivers. And so that they told me what? They told me install the Intel driver and support assistant. So I'm doing that. Dun, dun, dun. What can I do in the meantime with my hyperactivity? I need to do it for HP too, so I might as well see if I can get on HP.com and start support on this unit as well. Because what we're doing here is we're going to go through a bunch of different kind of computers and try to tweak them up to the best they can be, and feel our way around and see what they can do. All right, so I thought I put in HP.com. Is it loading, loading, loading? Yeah, it is loading. Come on, guy. Do I have to? Cookies. Support. Software and drivers. That looks like a good option. It's not the only option, but we'll see if we can get to where we need to be. All right, laptop drivers. Yeah, let HP detect your product. Okay, I'm going to do that. See if I could do it at the same time as I'm doing this. But I'm not. All right, so yeah, I got tired of waiting there. When you get tired of waiting, this thing should be going pretty fast. All right, okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, let's see. Yeah, this Intel thing wants to restart. So we're going to sign off for now. I'll be back in a minute.